Good evening and welcome to the Manteno Village Board meeting for Monday, July 20th, 2020. I'd like to call the meeting to order, and if we could all please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call, please.
Boyce.
Here.
Martin.
Here.
Dole. Here. Crockett. Geske.
Here.
Phillips.
Here.
We have a quorum. For the record, Mr. Crockett is walking in right now. So we have a quorum. As always, we begin with the approval of the minutes. We have the regular board meeting minutes from July 6, 2020 that have been included in everyone's packet, and hopefully everyone has had the opportunity to review them. Are there any changes, additions, deletions, corrections in the minutes as presented? Seeing none, I would accept a motion to waive the reading of the minutes and approve them as presented by the clerk.
I'll make the motion.
Motion by Martin.
A second.
Second by Dole. Roll call.
Martin.
Yes.
Dole. Yes. Boyce.
Yes.
Crockett.
Abstain.
Geske.
Yes.
And Phillips.
Yes.
Motion carries. Public participation. It doesn't appear that we have anyone here that wants to address the board. Village President's report. The only item I have under my report tonight is under new business. We have a ordinance that I'd like to propose, ordinance 2009, which is an ordinance amending Title III Business Regulations, Chapter 9 Liquor, by changing Section 3-9-4 Fee and Section 3-9-14 Limitation of the Municipal Code for the Village of Manteno. As you recall, at a recent, I believe the Finance Committee meeting that we had several weeks ago, we had a local resident that came to us and asked for consideration on creating a liquor license for a business that she had, where she, packages different items for sale, different candies or different sundries of different things. And with a lot of her packages, she'll include small bottles of alcohol as part of the package. Because she is selling alcohol from her residence, it's something that needs to be licensed and controlled by the liquor control, or by the liquor commissioner. And we did not have any liquor license that pertained or that met that criteria. So we talked to the village attorney. We did some, Chris did some research and checked with a few other communities that had done this in the past in order to be able to promote people to be entrepreneurs and to do their business from their home and still be within the guidelines. We were able to craft a new liquor license category. However, anyone that does this, obviously they have to apply and be eligible to get the liquor license, and just like all the other liquor license holders, they have to have dram shop insurance, and there's certain criteria that they have to have in order to be able to hold one of these licenses. And they have to be able to have the ability to check IDs just like any other liquor establishment. So after consulting with the attorney, he drafted up the ordinance, and it's before you tonight for approval. It's creation of a Class F license. The Class F license shall authorize the retail sale or complimentary distribution of beer, wine, champagne, or alcoholic liquor in its original can or bottle for consumption off the licensed premises only, together with package sale of sweets, fruits, or other edible arrangements as part of a home occupation. The annual fee for the license is $300. And again, like I said, they have to have dram shop insurance and any other insurance that would be required of any other liquor license holder. But this would allow the lady that came to us to be able to get her business within regulation and continue her business. And so tonight that is before us, and we'll have that on the agenda for approval later on in the meeting. Is there any questions in regards to this liquor license? Chris, when you talked with Joe Kankar, he had no issues with creating something like this. The other communities that had it and didn't have any issues with it?
Yeah, again, it's kind of an up-and-coming, I guess, home business, and seems like it's, with all the internet sales, it's something that does happen in other towns, and, had she not done it right, obviously, we may or may not have known about it, but she did the right thing and came to us first, and that's why we wanted to appease her and give her this,
Right.
the way to do it.
And I give her credit for, coming through the proper channels. Like say, she will have to have the license, she'll have to have the, license from the state of Illinois as far as sales tax and everything else, just like a regular facility, even though it's a home-based business. So that will be on the agenda later on in the meeting. Other than that, the only thing I have is, at the last board meeting, we announced, obviously, that we were reopening some of our facilities, the splash pad, the fountain have been reopened. We have had some construction going on over at the fountain where we've been putting the synthetic turf around the fountain the last couple of weeks, or the last week. That's coming to a completion. It should be done tomorrow. It hasn't really impacted anybody using that facility, but I know that we have had the park rangers over there, and Chief, we have not had any concerns or issues at all as far as anything that's been happening at the splash pad or at the fountain or the splash pad, I would. Okay. So that's worked out well, and good thing to have it open over the course of the last couple of weeks with the hot weather. That's all I have. Village Administrator's report, Mr. LaRock.
Thank you, Mayor. I just have one quick update on the census. Is letting everyone know that starting August 11th, they'll start to go around and physically do their non-response follow-up. So that's anybody that hasn't called or emailed or sent the response back. They'll be going door to door to do interviews with anybody who has not responded. I don't know that that means necessarily in Manteno it will start on August 11th, but that's their start date for the country. And just to let you know, response rates right now, Illinois is at 66.9%, the county is at 67.1%, and Manteno is at 78.4%. So they've gotten a pretty good response out of us. I think the last census we ended up around 80%, so kind of the same response from the village. And they are asking if you still have time to respond online at my2020census.gov, or you can do it by phone at 844-330-2020. So if you haven't responded yet, please do so. Again, it's really important to the village, not only to our operations, but the schools and other entities that rely on income from the federal government, and the census is what decides how much of that pie we're going to get. So it is important that people respond.
When they start going door to door, I assume that the census takers will have some type of census ID that they're going to be required to wear.
Correct.
Is that something that we can get a copy of and put it on our website so people can take a look at it and see? Because I know that, there's a lot of different solicitors that are going, door to door, and people are a little leery about, if people really are who they say they are. And so if we could get a picture of what the ID is going to look like, post it on the website, maybe put it on our electronic sign, have the chamber do the same thing, just to let people know, because it is important to get everybody counted. But at the same token, there is a lot of people that are, afraid potentially to open up their door to somebody too. And I don't think that I don't know that census takers will want to come in the house. I think it'll be a standing at your front door type of thing. It's not, where they come in and want to be inside the house, I don't believe.
Correct. I would assume it just happens at the doorway. So.
Right.
Yep.
But if we could get that ID and get it put on there, so
Yep.
and then we'd be able to let people know what it looks like, and they can have no problem asking people for their ID either. If they refuse to show it, they can call the police.
Yeah, they should definitely do that. I mean, anybody who refuses to show their badge, they're probably not a census worker.
Yeah.
So.
Anything else?
That's all I have tonight.
Committee reports, Public Works and Utilities, Mr. Boyce.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have no items on the agenda, but I do have a Public Works meeting on the 28th of this month at 7 a.m. That's it.
Thank you, Mr. Boyce. Parks and Recreation, Mr. Martin.
Nothing on my agenda, but Jim, you want to give an update on 2nd Street and 1st Street? What's going on?
Yep. First Street, they pretty much wrapped that up. They got a little cleaning up to do over there. Trees are planted, lights are up. We started putting the string of lights from pole to pole. So that project's wrapping up. Over at 2nd Street, all the lights are up. And as the mayor was saying, the AstroTurf should be done tomorrow. So, 3/4 of that park is open other than just the jumping pillow right now. So we'll see what the governor comes up with. If we can open that up, the rest of that park up then towards maybe the end of the month, I'm not sure. But yeah, the fountain's open every day, 10 o'clock. I think it's 10 to 10 is what it's open for right now, so that's,
We do have some fencing that's going to get changed over there, right?
Yeah.
That's the next item that's going to happen, and we're waiting on a back-ordered fence, because
Correct.
the fencing's going to get rearranged to encompass the area that, on the south end with the apartments. You got any idea on the time frame for that?
sounds like it's a couple more weeks before the product comes in, so it was ordered about a month or so ago, and they were saying it could be a 6 to 8 week lead time on it, so, yeah, so as soon as that comes in, yeah, the area there where the apartment was, that'll be fenced in, and where the small tot lot playground is, that'll be reworked as well.
And we planted some grass seed over there. It hasn't come in very well. That's going to get reworked and reseeded to hopefully get the grass up and going a little bit
Correct.
better there. So, like I say, that's still a ways out from happening because of the back order on the fence, but, it is in the works. Anything else, Mr. Martin?
Just, we have a, next meeting is for August 19th, 7 o'clock, right here. That's it.
Public safety and health, Mrs. Dole.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have any action items on the agenda tonight, and my next public safety meeting is August 12th at 7 a.m. Here at the Village Boardroom. The Manteno Police have observed several golf carts driving around town at night with colored LED lights on. Just as you cannot have any colored lights illuminated on your vehicle while it's being driven, same goes for the golf carts. You can't drive your cart around with different colored lights on, flashing, etc. If you're parked somewhere, you can have all the lights you want on, but you just can't drive around with them on. The bright LED lights near the driver can drastically reduce what the driver can see at night, and is very dangerous. Also, red and blue flashing lights can give the appearance of a police vehicle. So when you're driving your golf cart, please turn off all extra lighting until you have stopped. And also, as a reminder, there are still several golf carts driving around town that have not updated their registration. Please contact the police department anytime or the village hall during business hours to get the 2020 sticker. And Chief Al, I don't know if you wanted to talk any more about the lights on the golf carts. I mean, are like carts or lights underneath? Can they put those underneath the carriage, or
Yeah,
like running lights?
Ones up by the driver, we see that a lot where literal blue LED lights are right in the driver's face, and it really hampers what they can see. We try to treat golf carts just like we treat cars. So if you can do it on a car, you can do it on a golf cart, and vice versa. It's not allowed. So if you just look at the law as for cars, that's pretty much what you can do on a golf cart.
Okay, good thing to remember. Thanks.
Thank you, Mrs. Dole. Planning and zoning, Mr. Crockett.
Thank you, Mayor. I don't have anything on the agenda this evening, but we do have a Planning and Zoning Committee meeting scheduled for Tuesday, July the 28th, here in the Village Boardroom. And the next Planning Commission meeting is scheduled for Thursday, August 11th, 6 p.m., again, here in the Village Boardroom. And that's all I have for this evening.
Thank you, Mr. Crockett. Finance, Mr. Geske.
Thank you, Mayor. The only item I have is payment of bills in amount of $261,931.35, of which TIF bills are $178,046.37 from TIF 1. We've not had any bills paid or authorized between board cycle, and our next Finance Committee meeting is scheduled for August 12th at 7 a.m.
Thank you, Mr. Geske. General Government, Mr. Phillips, you have anything
I
tonight?
have nothing on the agenda tonight.
All right. So the items that we'll be voting on the consent agenda tonight are, there's not very many. We have one ordinance and the payment of the bills. We have ordinance under new business, ordinance 2009, which is an ordinance amending Title III Business Regulations, Chapter 9 Liquor, by changing Section 3-9-4 fee and Section 3-9-14 limitation of the municipal code for the village of Manteno. And then we also have a motion to approve the payment of the bills in the amount of $261,931.35, of which $178,046.37 are TIF 1 bills. Are there any items on the consent agenda that need to be voted on individually? Seeing none, I'd accept a motion to take a single roll call vote on the question of the passage of the agenda items as read.
I'll make that.
Motion by Boyce, second by Martin. Roll call.
Boyce?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Dole?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Geske?
Yes.
Phillips?
Yes,
Motion carries. I'd accept a motion to approve by unanimous vote the ordinances, resolutions, motions, and orders contained in the consent agenda as read.
Make that motion.
Motion by Dole, second by Crockett. Roll call.
Dole?
Yes.
Crockett?
Yes.
Boyce?
Yes.
Martin?
Yes.
Geske,
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Motion carries. Tonight, you have any comments, Mr. Boyce?
No comments, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Martin, you have anything? Mrs. Dole?
No, I don't have anything.
Mr. Crockett?
Nothing, Mayor.
Mr. Geske? Mr. Phillips?
Jimmy, First Street looks fantastic. Really did a great job.
Hey,
Really.
you guys,
Makes the town look good.
it's a good design, and yeah, well, the extra lights makes it really nice.
And Main Street, that pharmacy, it really looks good there now.
Yeah, just, and one comment on that too, we tried to accommodate them for a drive-up window, and the drive-up window is in the alley, similar to the other drugstore that's in town. It's not a perfect situation, but it was the best situation that we could come up with and still be able to allow for a drive-up window. I think everyone realizes, especially over the last 4 months, that drive-up windows are pretty much essential for any new business that is opening up or, expanding. And so, just a reminder to the people to be cautious. That is a new area. People might not be familiar with the traffic patterns, but I have gone by there a couple times today, and I've seen at least 1 or 2 cars in the drive-up window all the time, all day. They will be pulling out into the alley, and it could be potentially a little bit confusing. But, we allowed them to do what they did because we wanted to accommodate the business, and also it's not the busiest street in the country. People can still, get their business done and still be able to move around there and keep it fluid and not have any problems. But just pay attention to it because it is a new traffic pattern that is in that alley. But yeah, to your comments, it does look really nice. You go through there at night now with the lights that are on, it's a lot brighter. We're going to look at the possibility of putting a couple speakers up there we've got the music on, Main Street and the Second Street Square, potentially moving it or keeping it, down there and getting that more part of the downtown communities too. So I think it's a good, looks a good entryway on the west side into the downtown area. So it looks great, and I think it was done ahead of schedule too.
Yeah, they had till end of next week, I think, to finish, so yeah, they wrapped up.
And the monument sign, I see, Jerry Pierce got the sign, the names on the top of the sign there, so I think that other than finishing up the string lighting, I don't know, maybe you did that today.
I don't know if they finished it, but I know they're working on that second set there today, so.
That project is 99.9% complete then, so. With that, I have nothing further. I would accept the motion to adjourn.
Make the motion.
Motion by Dole, second by Geske, roll call.
Dole,
Yes.
Geske,
Yes.
Boyce,
Yes.
Martin,
Yes.
Crockett,
Yes.
Phillips.
Yes.
Motion carries. Thank you very much for coming and for watching.
I'm just quiet.